football. And joining us now, as you just heard the big voice guy, Coach Charlie Ragle. Coach Rock Manuch, Jimmy B, what's going on, my buddy? How you doing?
Afternoon, fellas. How are we doing?
Good. How's practice for you? Feel good? You've been going in a hot tub, a cold tub. How's your week been going? You ready to take on these Bulldogs?
I need a lot of cold tubs these days for sure. It's been a good week, though. Definitely been a good week.
So, Coach, when you go back and you look at the tape for Oklahoma State, what are some of the things that really stood out that you guys need to work on this week?
Yeah, well, I think, it's one of those games. Let me say this. I think the margins for winning and losing in college football are so small that it really comes down to, when you look at games, it's never about one play, but I think you can always look at a game and say there's a handful of plays that, would have maybe sprung the game for us or would have certainly jolted us, in the right direction. And we missed, a handful of those opportunities against Oklahoma State. And as I just mentioned, those are hard. The wins are hard to come by in college football. And that's, as we look back at the end of the season, this is going to be one that, we let get away from us. It was a game that we certainly felt like we could win. And you looking back at it, there is no, I don't feel any different after I watched the game. That was a game that, we probably should have won.
And Charlie, you guys are right. You're one score down to that last touchdown pass. It looked, watching on TV, as far as somebody looked like they got on late on defense, either the corner, and as that kid released, he was wide open. Was there some confusion as far as getting lined up, or did somebody come on the field late and not get to the outside? What happened on that last touchdown pass by Angel?
Yeah, no, it wasn't confusion. We went to a certain package of where we were gonna, it's more of a pressure package for us,
right?
And they just tempoed the play, okay. And it was late in the game. We weren't anticipating a tempo call per se, right? Because they've got the lead. They're kind of trying to milk the clock, and they got us with the tempo play, and and converted on the score. But we had so many other opportunities to convert. We dropped a slant route over the middle that really would have helped us. You could point, and it's anytime you lose, sure. You can point to single plays, but like I said, it wasn't one single play. I just think collectively, it never is, but there were certain plays that we could have converted on a couple of the fourth downs. Obviously, I mean, there's a lot of things that you could look at. I think at the end, though, the theme is that we didn't play well enough to win, and the margins for winning and losing are too small. We have to clean up the details and come back this week and execute at a higher level in order for us to be, victorious this Saturday.
And Coach, to that point, very, very clean your last two first halves versus the last two second halves. Now, obviously, a 2.5 hour wait can throw everybody out of sync. But is there anything noticeable in the second half when you talk about cleaning up things that you hit, that you focused on in the first half that just you couldn't convert or execute in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. I mean, it's duly noted. I think that there's certainly that, but I don't know if it's, I think you throw the first game out, that's just kind of a one-off, right? But obviously, I think the biggest thing is the consistency of playing 60 minutes of football, period, point blank. It's a 4-quarter football game. And, I think that, we talked about it last week, just the ability to emotional and situational maturity. And with that, when you have that, you're able to play from start to final gun, focused and locked in for 60 minutes. I don't think we're there yet. And so that's something that we continue to work on and continue to focus on, that we've got to play 60 minutes of football.
Coach Charlie Ragle joining us here on Rock and Manuch with Jimmy B. Coach, as you look ahead to Fresno State, Jeff Tedford, a guy you know quite well, he's been a heck of a coach, offensive mind, and he's done a lot of good things. How do you prepare for a guy like that knows his game pretty well and has got some pretty good players on that team?
Yeah, he's a hell of a football coach. There's no doubt about it. And I think if you look at his track record, it says that, right? And I think you're absolutely right. He's done a fabulous job there at Fresno, and obviously previous stops at Cal, and what he did there was remarkable. Jeff Tedford is truly one of the great coaches in college football, but it's really not about that. At the end of the day, it really comes down to what we can do, from a execution standpoint and playing at a high level. And I just mentioned, playing for 60 minutes and staying focused and executing at a high level. I think, on all three phases of the ball, we've played well at times. I think the biggest thing for us is the consistency in all three phases to play well for 60 minutes. If we do that, we will win this football game. If we don't, we'll be in a battle, and then it's a coin flip. But if we stay focused and we play in all three phases like we should and can, we'll win this football game. And it really comes down to looking inward and us taking care of the things that we need. And if we do, we'll again be victorious.
Coach Charlie Ragle joining us here, Fox Sports 910. Coach, when it comes to the high school atmosphere or the players that have played here, right? You and a bunch of coaches on this Arizona State staff know this state very well. You guys are going to see Mikey Keene, who was not even recruited by Arizona or Arizona State, even though his parents went to Arizona. This guy didn't get any looks here. What can you tell us about him? Because you've seen the kid play quite a bit. I know some of your coaching peers there have too. He may want to play pretty well out there on Frank Bush Field.
Yeah, I'm anticipating that we're going to get his very best shot, right?
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. You're absolutely right. And, kid that transferred from Central Florida to Fresno State, obviously played for Sean at Chandler. When you watch him on film as a really good leader, just obviously having the insight from Sean coaching him, very cerebral kid, makes good throws. He makes good decisions. I think that's the biggest thing. And I think that when you look at a quarterback like him and of his talent and his makeup, the biggest thing that you see in him is that he's gonna make great decisions. He's not gonna beat you. And so when you have that, again, that goes back to on our side of the coin. What do we got to do? We have to play at an extremely high level and execute at a high level. Not do the thing, make silly mistakes, penalties, things of that nature. We don't want to beat ourselves. And so I think, like I said, when you see a kid like this, and he's obviously got a little more incentive to come back here and play well.
3 minutes.
That only enhances our brand that we've got to play even better.
Charlie, isn't it funny how thinking back when me and Rudy be over there bright and early on Sunday mornings on your Chaparral field, and in the offseason there'd be little 7-year-old Mikey Keene over there, and I'd have my guys down here, and you'd come out once, we'd chew the fat. I'm going, Charlie, 8 o'clock Sunday morning, you'd be in there with the kids. But to watch that young man grow, or any of these young men that we used to train on those fields, used to watch and see where they're at now, is life has really come full circle right in your backyard, so to speak.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. I'm not gonna lie. I've come back here and watched a lot of these guys have grown and develop and be in situations that they're in. And obviously, you guys know where my heart is for Arizona high school football. I love the young man, and I want him to do well, but just not on Saturday night.
Coach, I saw an interview with him that was on one of the television stations, and he brought up the
2 minutes
that he never got recruited from Arizona State, and he really wanted to go there. And obviously, things have changed dramatically, but he is indeed, as you referenced, lighting it up for Fresno State. They're averaging over 30 points a game. So what does your defense have to do then to try to slow down Mikey Keene?
Well, again, I think it's when you start getting caught up in, the individual battles. This is a team football game. There's 11 guys on the field at one time on each side of the ball, so 22. Obviously, you guys know that. Everybody knows that. But it's not so much about, hey, we've got to stop one guy. It really is about looking inward at ourselves and doing the things that we need to do from a defensive standpoint to play at a high level. And we've played pretty well in the first 2 weeks. We have. Can we play better? Absolutely. And I think, that's the message coming out of Coach Ward's mouth this week is that
1 minute, 1 minute.
It's honing in on those little things and doing them on a consistent basis. So, he has a saying, consistently good, not occasionally great. And that's what we're trying to be here. We want to play fast. We're trying to teach these guys how to work, that Tuesday and Wednesdays are big work days, and that they've got to embrace the grind and embrace the work so that the payoff comes on Saturdays. And, when you're building a program and instilling that in the culture, it takes time. It's a process. And hopefully we're a little bit better this week than we were last week. And hopefully that'll be good enough to slow down these Bulldogs.
Good luck, Coach. As always, buddy. Thanks for the time today.
I appreciate you guys as always, and go Devils.
That's Charlie Ragle, head coach, or assistant coach, soon to be head coach someday. I know he will. I think he'll get a Pac-12 or Pac-8 or a
He's on
SEC
the cusp.
or a Big 10 or a Big
Pac-2,
12, whatever it may
He's
be.
laying in
someday.
wait, Rock. He's laying in wait.
He's presented by Crest Insurance Group. Crest Insurance Group offers personal, business, and specialty insurance solutions for clients across all markets. Go to crestins.com. Well, ASU, Taylor Swift, and Travis Kelce all have something in common. We'll tell you what that is next